I know the subconscious could have brought forth many different lifetimes for Amy to see today, yet you chose to bring forward this life of the man that lived on the island until he did not. Why did you pick that lifetime?
Those lessons and things needed to be learned still. They directly correlate with this lifetime.
Which lesson specifically?
Don't be afraid to try.
Mm-hmm.
Just do your best.
Mm-hmm.
Be yourself, do your best, and just put it out there. Put yourself out there. Don't hold back.
Mm-hmm.
The planet is full of people, and so many of them will want to see or hear what you have to say
Mm-hmm.
or make. There's no reason for her to be afraid.
Okay. And what was the purpose of that lifetime?
To teach, not like to, uh, they were too humble.
Mm-hmm.
They needed to be more outgoing. They didn't they didn't want to cause anyone any harm,
Mm-hmm.
and they thought that they were not good looking enough to talk to people. So they didn't.
Mm. Is there anyone from that lifetime that Amy knows in this lifetime?
Joe.
Who's Joe?
Joe is Charlie.
That makes sense. Have they had a lot of lifetimes together?
No, a few.
Mm-hmm. Is there anyone else that was there that Amy knows now?
His wife,
Mm-hmm.
Joe's wife, was her brother Al.
Oh.
Oh, her brother. Her brother in that lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, her brother in that lifetime was Allison.
Oh. That's neat.
It's a big soul group.
Mm-hmm. Now, speaking of soul group, does Amy have any contracts in this life right now?
Yes.
Who does she have contracts with?
She has a contract. Pending contract?
Mm-hmm.
Pending contracts with people she hasn't met,
Okay.
but also with her child,
Mm-hmm.
her stepchild.
Mm-hmm.
And one of her clients.
Is there any details you can give about these contracts?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Did she have any contracts with Amanda or Pat?
Yes.
Yes. And what were they? Are they broken now?
They're done.
Okay.
Um,
And what were they?
Amy learned the lesson of helping someone find their power.
Mm-hmm.
She also learned the lesson of helping someone else find the control that they lacked.
Okay.
Pat didn't feel in control
Mm-hmm.
after her divorce, so she controlled the kids. And that's where she felt her power.
Okay.
And in turn, her kids felt powerless
Mm-hmm.
and took it out on you and Amy.
Mm-hmm.
So, the contract the contract was fulfilled, And you guys have learned your lessons, but they haven't learned theirs yet.
Okay.
They're still trying to figure them out.
Okay. Now, the sexual trauma Amy's experienced, is that also from a contract, or was that karma?
One situation was karma, but the other two were contracts. The first one was karma.
Okay.
The first time was karma. He doesn't want to know the details.
No? Okay.
I don't think she needs to hear those.
Okay.
She would probably never forgive herself if she found out. It was heavy.
Okay.
But it's repaid.
Okay. Does she still have karma to work through in this life?
A little bit.
Is there any information that she can have about that?
A lot of it is in the future and with people she hasn't met yet.
Okay. Is that what those future contracts are about?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we wanted to check in about why she doesn't initiate contact with other people.
A lot of it is from this life we just showed her.
Mm-hmm.
It's not feeling good enough.
Okay.
She doesn't want to burden people. She feels like people just humor her.
What can be done to release that fear?
Meditation.
Okay.
Knowing her higher self. Listening to her higher self. Being able to hear us.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what is blocking her from success and her business growth and money in general?
Herself.
Yeah.
She's afraid to try.
Yeah. Why? Why is that?
It's not like the past life we just showed her. She's not shy. She's afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And she whoa, I feel like I'm floating.
That's okay. Just keep saying what's coming.
Could you repeat the question?
Yeah. Just wanting to know what is blocking Amy from her business growth and what is causing that fear of failure or success, and what's the money block?
Okay. It is all connected. She really just needs to do it.
Okay.
She can't stop.
Okay.
She needs to set a little goal and then meet that goal, and then set another little goal and meet that goal. So the first goal should be something like open up a document about something she doesn't know and learn.
Okay.
Don't fall asleep. Keep yourself awake. Learn what you need to learn.
Okay.
So you don't feel fear around it any longer. Because that's the only reason why you're scared, is because you don't know. Set the goal.
There we go. Set the goal.
Set the goal. Meet the goal. Little baby steps.
Okay.
And the goal, just make sure it's toward the final goal. So if the final goal is licensing an idea, make sure that she's meeting a goal every day to get herself one step closer to doing that.
Okay.
Because licensing her ideas, they're such good ideas and she's got so many of them, that will be what unlocks her need, or that would be what unlocks her money.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay.
Because she's got a lot of little ideas that's going to make a bunch of differences in a bunch of lives, and people will buy those ideas.
Okay.
But it's a little bit different than the way she's learned how to do it. Because she's learned from an American author how to do it.
Okay.
It's a little different here. It's not as straightforward, but it's just as easy. Okay. She just doesn't know the steps. So she needs to make those little tiny goals to figure out what those steps are and get on it.
Okay.
No more spinning her wheels.
Okay. So should she be continuing with the KonMari?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's fulfilling. And anything that is fulfilling and that feels good and right, you must continue with it because it's going to make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's what makes you happy, absolutely keep on top of it. And it aligns perfectly with the way things actually work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's environmentally sound, it's kind, it's
Mm-hmm.
love, it's loving, it's respectful to all consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
It's the perfect job.
Yeah.
And the fact that she found it through you, through anyone, is amazing because
Mm-hmm.
it aligns perfectly with what we would like to see for her, but it's also just the way that the universe works.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect. She should continue.
Awesome. Okay. She was also wondering why she's scared to speak her truth, like what's in her heart, and how can she release this?
Another thing where it involves baby steps.
Mm-hmm.
She's just got to start small.
Okay.
And I think she should start with her stepson
Mm-hmm.
by having the heart to heart and be honest with him and tell him how much she loves him. That will be the most difficult thing she does,
Mm-hmm.
but once she does it, speaking her truth from that point forward will be so easy
Awesome.
because she doesn't want to lose him.
Mm-hmm.
And if she can reach him on an honest level that doesn't make him feel like he's not a person,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't think it will because the things she needs to say are positive, they're not negative.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she'll see that it's not that hard.
Okay. And as she does this, will this help her with things that have to do with her throat chakra, like swallowing pills and her thyroid issues?
That and setting new boundaries with people, setting boundaries with new people.
Okay.
Because the people that are currently in her life, they already know where she stands on boundaries and her boundaries. They know who she is as a person. It's the new people. So when she gets new clients,
Mm-hmm.
if she's to lay out her boundaries with those people right fresh from the start,
Mm-hmm.
then their working relationship will be fine and she'll be standing up for herself right from the start.
Gotcha.
There will be no issues
Okay.
later on.
Okay. And these boundaries that she needs to lay out, she's already familiar with those?
Yes.
On a conscious level?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We also wanted to know, she wanted to know the promiscuity she had in this life. Was that a genuine experience or was that learned behavior for her?
It was a little bit of both.
Okay.
Because from her standpoint, it felt real.
Okay.
So it was real.
Mm-hmm.
But it was learned. She saw it, she learned it. And sometimes it didn't come from her. A lot of times it came from her environment.
Okay.
It's not that she was seeking anyone's approval or anyone's affection. It was the pleasure side of it all.
Okay.
Okay, so that makes sense. She used that as the attention she lacked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the attention she lacked, so she got it.
Okay. The attention she lacked from
childhood.
From childhood, okay.
Mm-hmm. The attention that was put on the other kids that aren't you guys. Or sometimes the attention that was on you when you were sick.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly the attention that was on other kids.
Okay. All right. Now, is there anything more to do with that, or is that resolved for her, that feeling?
That's resolved.
Okay.
Any sensual things that happen now are genuine for her.
That's good.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, can you give any specifics about past lives with Sean and Amy?
Well, okay, it's much like what's going on between you and Amy in this life. It's the easy one.
Mm-hmm.
It's the easy one. They're laughing.
Mm.
They're laughing at other couples. Because other couples are saying all the weird cliche things you say about marriage.
Mm.
And they're laughing because they don't experience it.
No.
But they have.
Mm.
They have experienced the hardness the difficulty of being in relationships, whether that was familial or friendships, and the struggles that come along with those. But this was the easy one. They chose the easy one for this. At the same time, they are living the other lifetime as well, where they got together when they were younger and they met at work. So the 3 children that they currently have, they don't have. They have their own 3 children.
Okay.
And the marriage isn't as strong as it is today with this lifetime.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, is that life going on at the same time?
Yes, she dreams about it all the time. She wakes up so sad. Oh, you cheated on me in my dream. Or he'll ask her. He'll actually see when she wakes up in the morning how sad she is. And sometimes she'll just walk right up to him and hug him, and he'll say, did I cheat on you in your sleep? And she'd say, yeah, he knows. He knows. This was the easy life.
That's good.
This is the fun and easy life they chose.
So in this life then, why is she such a light sleeper?
This was something she asked for so she could help.
Okay. Is that still necessary?
No.
And what can we do to release that?
We told her before that she needs to go to sleep at 9.
Right.
She needs to go to bed at 9. That way she's asleep before he comes to bed.
Okay.
And if she goes to bed at 9 consistently, hits the pillow at 9, the sleep cycle will be perfect when he comes to sleep so that he doesn't wake her.
Okay.
But she has to have her head on the pillow at 9.
Okay.
She didn't listen to us.
Okay. And when does the phone have to be down?
She probably should use her phone far less than she does. That's a boundary she needs to set with herself.
Okay.
Her screen time should be maybe 2 hours a day. And that's including the computer.
Oh, wow.
When she's invoicing clients and writing and creating documents. And even the family tree stuff she's been working on, she should set out specific times to do that. And at least 2 hours before bed, put everything away.
Okay.
Read a book, do some yoga, get in the hot shower, anything to relax. Don't do anything that stimulates the mind. No blue light.
Okay.
And be in bed at 9.
Okay. Does screen time include the TV?
Yes. Yeah, she doesn't really watch a lot of TV anyway.
Okay.
We didn't need to include that because she maybe watches 1 hour a week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not so bad. She doesn't really like TV.
That's fair. Okay, so now when she's doing things like meditating or getting the proper sleep, she's also wondering about her gifts and how she could use them.
Well, if she was to consistently keep those promises to herself of being more in tune with her higher self, she could potentially use her gifts to heal people. She could take up Reiki or any other type of metaphysical healing. Or just being around people, her energy itself is really uplifting. Especially if she's excited about something. So by her being in touch with her higher self and doing things that she really cares about, then that's what she's going to talk about with people, and she's going to be super excited about it. So her excitement will lift people up, even if they're standing near her and not listening to her talk.
Wow.
Like the energy is so elevated that she can't even contain it sometimes, and she can't even speak properly.
Do we have more specifics beyond that about other gifts she may have?
Yeah, she is psychic. We're all psychic. It's just a matter of how in tune with yourself that you are, because the more you meditate, the more you listen, the more you, because we can give you all the answers you need in meditation. If you get so good at meditating, you can just hear us in the daytime.
Mm-hmm.
When she was younger, she could see auras. She practiced to see auras. She practiced to astral project. Anything with practice, you just get better at.
Okay. All right. That's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of questions regarding confrontation. What caused that fear of confrontation that she has?
Okay, so it was the angry person in a past life that killed her.
Okay. Do we?
It was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
It was you both have had situations where you've been with abusive people.
Mm-hmm.
Been in the room with an abusive person, even in a verbal situation.
Mm-hmm.
This person that killed her was all of the above. He was angry.
Mm-hmm.
He was physically and verbally and emotionally abusive. He was very dark. He was a very dark entity. He's still paying back that karma for what he did to her. And because he didn't do it to just her, he did it to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
He even did it to people in your soul group.
Oh, wow.
So most of the people in your soul group that you know that are scared of confrontation like she is
Mm-hmm.
have probably had that happen with the same person.
Wow.
This person is still paying back karma. But that being said, this lifetime doesn't require that same fear because it's a different life. And you're all safe.
Okay. That's good. How can she heal her brain after narcissistic abuse that happened in this life?
She needs to crawl. She needs to get on all fours and crawl.
Literally?
Yes.
And what will that do?
She needs to spend 5 minutes a day crawling. It's like when an infant is learning to walk.
Mm-hmm.
They crawl first.
Okay.
The synapses in the brain require a crawling phase. The crawling phase gives you it's like the building blocks to all of the good things that happen for people. So if your kids skip the crawling phase, they're missing a huge chunk of cognitive abilities that they should have as adults.
Okay.
So her child and her both skipped right over the crawling phase. They need to crawl, both of them.
Okay, and how long should they be doing that for?
5 minutes a day until they feel as though that problem has gone. I mean, think of how long it takes a baby to learn to walk from crawling. It's roughly 3 to 6 months of crawling every day. But babies crawl everywhere.
Yeah.
They crawl everywhere. So we can't expect you both to crawl everywhere as adult people.
Okay.
But it is going to cause new neural pathways to form that were never there before.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the building blocks for all of the good things that she's needing in this lifetime, including deep sleep.
Okay. Now, is this the cause of the ADHD symptoms, or is there something else happening?
It's okay. So the narcissistic abuse is part of what happened, but even as a young person, she had mild symptoms of ADHD. Like the concentration and focus were already like a problem for her. Mm-hmm. But they didn't know she couldn't see very well. So she needed glasses. So instead of saying I can't see the board, she would talk to people around her. So they thought it was worse than it really was. She had a little bit of an issue with focus, but not as bad as the teachers thought.
Okay, is ADHD even a real issue, or is it always a symptom of something?
Not for her. It's not an issue for her. She has, the trauma of the narcissistic abuse and a little bit of distraction issues. So a lot of times when she's relating to the videos that you guys see on your social media, it's because they're the same symptoms. The shrinking of the brain and the abuse. I mean, she was in that relationship for 4.5 years, and a lot of damage was done.
Yeah.
But some people are in those relationships for life. and they all die of dementia.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like they chose that to get out of the situation.
Mm.
Not that they chose that, but like their body and brain shut down so that they can get out of that situation of abuse.
Okay.
So, she has a little bit of ADHD, but it's nothing that she would ever need drugs for.
Okay.
If she avoids dairy and sugar and all of the advice that we gave her before about going outside and being one with nature and walking barefoot,
Okay.
those are all things that will lessen the ADHD symptoms.
Good. Okay.
But also, she definitely needs to start crawling around.
Okay.
As weird as that sounds, I know. But she needs to. Her and Silva have to crawl.
Okay.
Silva especially.
Okay.
Because she didn't let Silva crawl.
Okay.
She was trying to prevent Silva from running.
Okay.
And she went from sitting to running.
Oh my.
She just skipped right over everything. So she's missing a large portion of what she needs.
Okay. So new segue here, but she also wanted to ask again about what happened when she disappeared in Denmark.
She knows. We told her already.
So that is
what happened.
That is what happened. Okay.
We took her home to give her a bigger picture view.
Okay.
Of what was important.
Because she really likes the idea of aliens. Are there aliens at all connected with her?
No.
Okay.
No. Still no implants.
Got it. Okay. And now for the fear of height and the fear of spiders, can we find out why that is for her?
Okay. So digging deeper, because we touched on it before.
Mm-hmm.
So she fell from a mountain.
Okay.
She didn't just fall, she threw herself.
Okay.
So at the top of the mountain it was a good idea, but as soon as the ground left her feet, it was no longer the best idea.
Got it.
So now, because of that, even being up a little bit makes her spin.
Okay. Is there anything she can do or that you can do maybe to help release it?
We can try to alleviate it, but again, if she doesn't crawl, then we can't do too much for her. Those are really important neural pathways that were never made.
Okay.
So, yeah, her brain needs her to just help a little.
Yep.
And I think eventually she will find that she can go higher and higher on her ladder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what about the spiders? What happened there?
All right, so the planet with the massive bugs.
Mm-hmm.
The spiders were the leaders, and
Okay.
they weren't necessarily the kindest leaders.
Okay.
She was a bug too. Like she's imagining that lifetime with giant bugs, but she's imagining herself as a human, and she was not.
Oh, okay.
She
so
was not a human.
were they normal sized bugs and she was just also a bug?
Okay, so yeah. The bugs the bugs were life size, like human size.
Okay.
But on this planet there was just bugs. There was no other.
Right, okay.
There's no other beings. It's just insects and bugs.
Mm-hmm.
But the spiders were in charge because they could lay webs. So they're the ones in charge. So a lot of those feelings of being trapped and not enjoying being trapped is from that experience.
Okay.
But I mean, when you're being abused and trapped in any lifetime, it's not going to be a great thing to bring over into the next life. But you're going to, unless you resolve it.
Okay, and how does she resolve that?
Okay, with that, meditation is key, but also realizing how safe she is. How safe she is, how big she is. Spiders, getting bitten by a spider is not going to kill her. Even if it's a poisonous spider, it's not going to kill her. If she's meditating and she's taking care of herself, the only time it would be a problem is if she was a baby. And she's not.
No.
And if she's not living in a place where only deadly spiders are.
Right.
She's living in a place where even if you get bitten by a spider, the worst things that's going to happen is you're going to need a round of antibiotics, which we don't always agree with. But if it keeps you alive, then please do it.
Yes. Okay. All right.
She's
So.
bigger. They're smaller. They're they're not mean in this lifetime because she's bigger, and they still lay webs, but not to control. They lay webs to exist.
Now, will that cognitive knowledge really help with the fear? Because I'm pretty sure she does know that consciously.
She does, but that cognitive ability that she didn't develop as a baby
Oh, so
is a
crawling.
very key part of it.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, so the crawling's very important.
Yes.
Okay. So she also wants to know how she can have energy to work out and to also have energy for work because she's been feeling very depleted.
Right. So, I guess that's kind of like the moral of the story today. Baby steps.
Okay.
She has to introduce it bit by bit. She can't, I mean, she probably wouldn't have anyway, but she would need to slowly introduce little spurts here and there. So only do like 2 minutes of intense cardio today, and then maybe 2.5 minutes tomorrow, and then 3 minutes the next day. But make sure you're eating a few more calories per day as you're doing it. Just to give yourself the actual energy. Because that's how it works. In bodies that eat, you need the actual kilojoules. That's the energy.
Right.
So even if it's like peanut butter and apples, you don't normally eat that. You usually just have an apple, but dip it in peanut butter or almond butter, and then throw yourself on an exercise bike for 3 minutes. And then slowly work your way up to the 20.5 minutes that you should be getting per day.
Okay.
It's only 20.5 minutes. So slowly working your way up and check in on yourself every day. And if you need to take a break between days, do it, but you have to go back to it. You can't just let it slide.
Okay.
Like the way she promises to floss every night, she needs to do the same thing with exercise, going to bed on time, yoga, meditation,
crawling. Okay. She was also wondering if she has ever had mono or Epstein-Barr virus, as it's known.
Yes.
Okay. When did she have that?
She had that in high school.
Okay. She just wasn't aware?
No.
No.
Okay. It just felt like a cold.
Okay. So is that still affecting her in any way?
Yes.
Okay. And how can that get released?
She needs to get a blood test.
Okay.
And check for specifically that. And then once they discover that it's there, the doctor can write a prescription to remove it.
Okay, so this will require a prescription?
Yes.
Okay. She was also wondering if she should take iodine.
It can't hurt, but she has to make sure that she's taking supporting things so that she doesn't feel off. Because it gives you a really bad headache.
Okay, and what supporting things does she need?
So she's got she already knows what she needs to take to do it, but she has to take those things for 2 weeks.
Okay.
So when you have a towel and you try to wet it and the water just kind of beads on top of it, that's what's going to happen inside her body with the iodine.
Okay.
So the supporting supplements are going to soften it up so that then when she takes the iodine, it'll soak right in.
Okay. Okay, now the supporting supplements, are those pills?
A lot of them are.
Okay, and she'll be able to swallow those?
No, not until she gets the crawling figured out.
Okay.
But if she wanted to start, she could do it. She could just crush them up and put them in a smoothie.
Okay.
She's been doing a lot of smoothies. She could do that.
Okay, and she won't taste the gross ones?
She may.
Okay.
But she can do them in smaller shots.
Okay.
Like she has a big smoothie. She could have a big smoothie for breakfast every day, and that's the food that she could take with the iodine because you have to take it with food.
Okay.
But if she does it, like pour a little shot with the gross things and just drink it really fast and then chase it with the not gross tasting stuff.
Yeah, I mean.
Up until she gets that all rewired.
Okay.
We can try to help a little bit, but she's got to do a lot of this for herself.
Okay.
That's part of her lesson.
That makes sense. Okay, and she also wanted to check in about the tooth that she felt was fixed. Is there any healing that needs to further happen for her on that tooth?
A little bit. I mean, she felt great initially,
Mm-hmm.
but then she started to doubt.
Okay, so is this a belief issue?
This is a belief issue.
Okay.
She's seen firsthand that there's nothing to doubt.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything more we can do to help her belief system?
She just needs to keep listening.
Mm-hmm. Like listening to the recording or listening
All of it.
all of it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is there
Listen,
any signs or anything that you can give her that she'll know or from you that'll help bring that up for her?
okay, we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Willows. Weeping willows. Those are her favorite.
Okay.
We'll give her weeping willows as a sign that we're always making things work for her.
Okay.
But when we say listen, we mean all of it. Every time she's feeling disbelieved, listen to this recording.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to us trying to talk to her. Listen to the books of Dolores.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to anything. Any session that she's had or that you've had or that your father has had.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just going to reinforce belief.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We've proven it.
Yeah.
I don't know why she still needs more help in belief.
It's a tough place to have belief in. This is a tough realm.
I guess.
Yeah. So, are you able to do a body scan for her?
We can do that.
Okay. And do you mind telling me what you're doing while you do it?
Okay.
Okay.
We already know what's going on with the brain.
What's going on? Oh, yes, we talked about it.
We talked about that.
Okay.
There's no parasites or anything to worry about in the brain as well. That's a safe bet. She stopped eating pork.
Mm-hmm.
There were brain parasites
Really?
from pork.
In her?
They don't eat pork anymore, and the brain parasites have nothing to eat.
Okay. So, what happens to them when they die off?
Well, the timing of it was really weird because Silva let her know that she found worms in the toilet. So they both started taking diatomaceous earth.
Okay.
Right at the same time that Sean's cholesterol was high. We did that on purpose so that the brain parasites could be murdered with the diatomaceous earth.
Okay.
The brain parasites were doing minimal damage, but she was eating pork a lot.
Okay.
And I mean, it's not in every piece of pork, but the odd one, it happens. So the fact that her and her child both had parasites out the back end, suffice it to say, it was everywhere.
Wow.
So 2 weeks of diatomaceous earth, they're fine. There's no parasites.
Okay.
We already told her about her eyes. She doesn't believe it enough.
Is there anything we can do to help with that beyond?
We can give her dreams.
Okay.
We have to give her reminding dreams.
Okay.
And we can show her how it's done in the dreams.
That
Maybe
would be
that
very
would help.
helpful. Yeah. And what's the timeline for her?
It depends on how much she believes. If she doesn't believe it at all, then it just won't happen. We told her a week. It could have happened in a week, but she didn't believe that it was even possible to happen,
Okay.
let alone in a week.
Right.
There was one day where she was like, my glasses aren't working. But that still wasn't enough for her to believe that we were making it happen.
Right. Unless everything else gets clearer, it's hard to tell.
It's true. It's true. We can help, but she's got to do a lot of this for herself.
Okay.
Yeah, so her eyes, we know her eyes, like the spot that the eye doctor was concerned about is already gone.
Okay, good.
That won't show up on an imaging next time.
Perfect.
But her vision won't change unless she lets go. Okay, so her jaw she still clenches her jaw. She still uses her night guard.
Can I ask again to clarify what is causing the vision to be the way it is in this life?
She had a horrible situation happen in a past life with your cousin Bill, your mother, your Uncle Sandy.
Okay.
Where they didn't want to see what was happening.
Okay.
They couldn't look away, though. They were being tortured. Their eyes were being pried open while they had to watch.
Okay.
So in this lifetime, it's been carried over. They don't want to see what they had to see.
Okay. So, is there any way to release that from her? That, at least that imprint of the cell memory?
We can do that.
Thank you.
We can use the light.
Okay. And what do you do with the light?
We shine the light around the imprinted part,
Mm-hmm.
and it lifts away.
Okay.
It's done.
Okay. Will she notice a difference in any way with that?
She may.
Okay.
She won't have any negative feelings any longer.
That's good.
She probably didn't even realize they were there.
Probably not. Okay, sorry. Continue on with the scan.
Okay, so the jaw clenching.
Yes.
That is from the narcissistic abuse.
In this life?
In this life.
Okay.
Yeah, so the rewiring the brain.
Mm-hmm. The crawling?
The crawling, yeah. But she should probably go see the chiropractor and get an adjustment. That seems like the last avenue. It can be done. They can adjust her jaw so that it doesn't clench. I know it's not going to cost a lot.
Okay.
It's not super expensive.
And that's not, why is that not something you can do?
Oh. We could do that.
Okay.
We could do that.
Because anything you can do to help her would be fantastic, and that would definitely also assist her in her belief systems.
Okay.
Okay.
Should we do that now?
If you can do that now, that would be absolutely wonderful.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's done.
Okay, thank you so much. She'll be very grateful for that.
She just needs to believe that it's done.
Okay, does that mean she should not wear her night guard tonight?
Unless she, if she listens to this, then she'll know.
Yeah.
That it's done.
Okay.
Unless you tell her it's done.
Do you want me to tell her that it's done?
You should tell her it's done.
Okay, I will do that. Okay. All right, so next, what's next in her scan?
So her thyroid and her upper, her neck and upper back.
Okay.
Those are all problematic areas for her.
Okay.
Again, the thyroid's not the problem. It's the hormones.
Right, okay.
But the thyroid is affected by the not speaking up.
Okay.
So again, when she comes into her own power, and when she's realizing how easy it is to step forth and stand up for yourself, that'll help. The Epstein-Barr virus stuff will help.
Okay.
The hormones also.
Okay.
The hormones will help. So,
is there any carryover from that life regarding speaking her truth that we can take care of today?
Yes. Okay. We've already started that.
Okay.
Yeah. Once the lesson was learned, we started that.
Perfect. And then, is there anything you can do regarding the Epstein-Barr virus? To clear that away for her?
She won't believe it enough for it to be effective.
Okay, she'll need the test.
She needs the test, yeah.
Okay. And for her hormones?
The hormones we will give to her as she sleeps on time. She just needs to sleep on time because the hormones can naturally happen from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. While she's asleep. And if she can be asleep before that time and be in the middle of a sleep cycle by 10, that's the easiest, best way to get the testosterone. We would double it. Okay. We would double it for her so it takes less time to catch up.
That would be
because she's so depleted. But she has to be consistent.
Right. Okay.
She needs to give herself a really more healthy routine and just practice it daily. No questions asked. Okay. It needs to happen.
Now, she hasn't asked this, so if you can't answer, that's fine. But just regarding alcohol before sleeping, is that okay still?
No one should do that. No one should even have alcohol.
Okay. All right.
Alcohol before sleep interrupts sleep. It gives you the worst sleep. But it's a toxin. It's a poison. we really don't like watching humans poison themselves for
Mhm.
any reason in any way, shape, or form.
Mhm.
Hemp is different.
Okay.
Hemp isn't necessarily poisonous, it's healing. But tobacco and drugs, I know we said she should get a prescription, but in this situation, the belief in that drug will be enough for her to heal.
Okay, perfect. Because I know you can take care of any damage a drug may do to the body.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And she can ask for us to remove any side effects, any symptoms, any bad things
Perfect.
after the fact, anyways.
Okay.
She can easily believe that, but she can't believe in the healing aspect that we're capable of.
I know, it's funny. We're funny humans.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, you mentioned the upper back. What's going on there?
It's always tense. I
Okay.
mean, even right now, in a relaxed state, she's tensed.
Okay, and what is that from? What's causing that?
Now, that is a combination of some stuff from past life, but also from all the stresses that she's holding on to today. She thinks she doesn't have a very stressful anything. Like, she thinks that she's pretty stress free. And, like, her watch will tell you she's pretty low stress. It's not measuring her back muscles. So she can have a massage and release that, because she's right. Her life is pretty stress free, but she's got compounded stress up there that hasn't been released.
Okay.
And she needs to release it. So, I don't know, massage, yoga, hot shower, a hot bath, with like things to draw stuff out. But she needs relaxing techniques as well. So, while her life might not be that stressful, this is old stuff. This is all old stuff building up.
Okay. Can you help release whatever's stuck from past lives at least?
Yes.
And then whatever's been there from the past so that she can start fresh?
We can do that right now.
Perfect.
We can do that. We're pulling it out like a string.
Okay.
It's a long string. There's a lot. There's a lot of different things that are creating this problem for her.
Okay.
But she's already feeling some mild relief.
Okay. Is there anything you can do for the muscles now?
We can try, but she might not feel it.
Okay. Why is that?
Her belief.
Okay. So she'll believe a massage will work?
Yeah.
Okay.
She even has a tool at home that she can plug in and just lay on.
Okay.
She doesn't have to pay anybody.
There
She
you
can
go.
ask her husband for some help. She
There
can
you
do
go.
it herself.
Perfect.
Okay, we're done.
Thank you so much. All right, so let's keep going with the scan. What's next?
Just one more
Oh.
little bit of advice for her when it comes to that. After she's done releasing stress, she should stretch and breathe deeply.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That will keep it at bay.
Okay, perfect. All right. So what's next on the scan?
All right. We are moving down to her chest and her upper back. It seems like she's good.
Yeah, okay.
Periodically, she gets pain in her upper back. Her chest is quite large. A lot of that actually affects her lower back more so. But as she starts doing all of these really good things for herself, she's going to start losing the weight, which will make it easier on her back.
Okay.
And if she's consistent and true to herself, then she won't have a problem developing core strength, which will help all the back muscles.
Okay. Is there any energetic blocking to her metabolism gaining?
A lot of it is the Epstein-Barr and the
Okay.
hormones.
Okay. All right, so once she allows you to take care of the hormones when she sleeps and once she gets her blood test and the antibiotics, that should also help the metabolism?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Continue.
Her stomach. Okay, so there's a bit going on here. She needs to stop with the dairy. No more dairy.
Okay.
No more dairy. Gluten is okay once in a while if it's like full, complete. It can't just be partial.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I'm not sure. What's the difference? How
So
do you...
she needs a full, complete piece of wheat, not
Okay.
a partial. The
Gotcha.
way that they've changed it.
Got it.
It's
And
been changed a lot.
will she be able to identify what has that?
She has a loaf of it in her house right now.
Okay.
It's a sprouted version.
Got it. Yes.
And not very often, if she can help it. She can
Okay.
make her own wraps. She's got different recipes to make her own wraps that are totally gluten-free.
Okay.
And they're delicious. She doesn't know yet because she hasn't tried it.
Okay.
They're amazing. She's going to love them.
Okay.
And they're made with things that she needs.
Perfect.
So, she's on the right track, and she shouldn't beat herself up for all of the things she's doing, but she needs to avoid dairy.
Okay.
Because she's been having problems with gas, where like she can't hold it, and she's letting it go in weird places, and it's embarrassing because it's not the best smell. So if she avoids it completely, it won't happen.
Okay.
And if she's making herself a bean salad, she needs to freeze half of it.
Okay.
Because it's starting to go bad before they finish it, and that's helping create more gas.
That makes a lot of sense.
And they have to chew their food properly.
Okay. And how's that?
36.
36 times. Okay.
Or more. The saliva is a very key factor in digestion.
Kind of like how crawling is a key factor.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And mindful. They need to be more mindful with everything. That will make a huge difference in everything.
It also makes you enjoy it more.
Yes.
Okay. That's great tips.
So, I mean, her stomach is great. I mean, she's got a lot of good bacteria in there from the last time. It's still holding up strong.
Good.
But it's if she doesn't avoid dairy, she's gonna find like gastro problems.
Okay.
She won't be sick or anything. It's just she's gonna feel sick.
So is there the substitutes she's been using? Are those
Those
good?
are fine.
Good. Okay.
Those are fine. But like true dairy is too much for her to handle. We would say that the dairy substitutes should be in moderation.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of ingredients in there that aren't the greatest for them. Whoops.
Okay.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. It's okay. Just relax.
There's a lot of ingredients that aren't good for them. Once in a while is okay, but soybean oil should be avoided if possible. So if they're feeling like they are craving dairy, she should look up cashew recipes and make it herself.
Okay.
But they do have the melty stuff that they like from the grocery store.
Okay.
It should be in very small quantities.
Okay.
Like once every 2 months.
Okay. Is there anything else that they've been consuming that you think should be in moderation or not at all?
They went out to the buffet. They know. They know what they did wrong.
Okay.
They aren't quite over it. She's still very into salty things and chips, so she can roast her own beans and make them salty.
Okay.
And crunchy and chip-like.
So is there anything you can do to help minimize the cravings for the not so good stuff for her?
She's on track.
Okay.
She really is. She can sit down and figure out some recipes for her own bean chips.
Oh wow.
She can make her own salty, like with the real salt that she's got. She can figure all of that stuff out.
Awesome.
And make like good snacks for her and him. But he needs help with sugar.
Okay.
And he needs to ask for that help himself.
That's not something we can
No,
work out with his higher
interfere.
self. Yes, understood. Okay. All right. So everything's looking good digestively. It's just the external stuff we need to work on.
Mostly.
Okay.
Mostly, yeah.
What else is going on then?
Well, she really does need to grow her own food. She really does.
Okay.
We're not going to interfere, but we're going to give him some light suggestions on where we can put that thing, because that's an important part. They're eating so healthy, but they're eating pesticides. A lot of pesticides, and there's only so much we can do to remove them.
Okay, and you have an idea of where the tower garden should go?
Yes, we'll give it to them in a dream.
Okay.
And it's going to come true because they're both going to have the same dream.
Okay. You don't want to say it out loud on
No,
here? Okay.
I don't want to implant it. I want
You
her to
want it
believe in us.
perfect. Okay. It's a very good reason. All right. Okay, let's continue with the body scan. I know we've been under for quite some time. Is it okay to continue?
Yes, she's fine. She's a
Okay.
little thirsty, but she's fine.
Okay. All right, let's continue.
Okay. The bowel's good. The intestine is good. Oh, there's a little bit of something. It's like a hemorrhoid. We didn't deal with that last time.
Can we deal with that now?
We're looking at it.
Okay.
We're trying to see how to deal. Okay.
Do we know what caused it?
Childbirth.
Oh my goodness, that's been there so long.
Yeah, she's been pretty quiet about it. She puts it back.
She puts it back.
She puts it back in the shower.
Oh my goodness.
And then the second she toots, it sometimes it comes right back out.
Oh my goodness.
And she toots a lot.
Yeah.
But it's more so when she goes to the washroom, which she's been doing daily.
Oh, good for her.
Okay, so, all right, how do we... We're going to have to do this a gentle way because it's a nerve. It's a vein. Like, it's... We're going to have to do this over time.
How long?
Well, if she goes to the washroom before her day starts and showers and puts it away, that makes it easier for us to deal with it because then we can adhere it to where it belongs.
Okay.
If we try to do it while it's sticking out, it could be problematic. It could bleed more.
Okay.
So we don't want to do that to her. She just needs to find an opportunity, even on a weekend, because she doesn't have to go to work. Like tomorrow morning, she could shower after she goes to the washroom and deal with it.
Okay.
And then we'll work on it tomorrow in the daytime.
Okay.
And we'll just fuse it back to where it belongs.
Okay.
It was pushed. She was told to push, and she was afraid to push, and she didn't want to push because she knew it was going to happen. But she knew it was going to happen, therefore it happened.
Yes. Yep. That tends to be the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I do know you've worked miracles with hemorrhoids because you helped Dad with his, so
yes,
she can have that belief too.
Yes, 100%. And she'll know that once it's in, it's easier for us. It makes sense. It makes perfect sense.
It does make sense. And what will she just realize it's gone one day? Like, how will she know when it's done?
The next time she goes to put it back in and it's not there.
Okay, so there's not like a sensation or anything that
but she can feel it. It's got a hard nub. It's like burned flesh almost.
Oh
we have to remove the excess scar tissue.
Wow.
And refuse it. But we can do that as soon as it's put back.
Awesome.
As soon as it's put back, we promise we will do that.
And you can do that while she's awake?
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep. She might feel some tingling and she might think it came back out.
Okay.
That's it's going to feel the same as when it's out.
Okay. Perfect.
But it's not going to be itchy or uncomfortable the way it normally is in the daytime. It feels like butterflies.
Oh my
but
goodness.
It won't feel like that.
Okay.
It will just feel like a bit of tingle.
Okay.
And then it'll not feel like anything ever again.
Amazing. She's going to be so grateful.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's continue the scan.
Okay. The bone density is better, much better.
Okay.
But as she does more exercise, the better it'll get. Like she needs to do a little bit more impact stuff.
Okay.
Like even jumping jacks.
Okay.
If she needs a different type of exercise, jumping jacks is really good for getting the heart rate up. If that can be her go-to cardio for a little while.
Okay.
Like do jumping jacks for 1 minute tomorrow and then a minute and a half the next day instead of the recumbent bike because that won't get her heart rate up as high as she wants it to be.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a good start if she wants to start.
Okay.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, definitely. Gotta crawl before you walk.
Exactly.
All right.
So the muscles are weak, but again, she wants to exercise.
Yeah.
So she can strengthen them.
Okay. Is there anything we can do to help the start of this?
She's already on track.
Perfect.
The food is good. The food is good. She's kind of getting a little bit complacent in label reading.
Okay.
Because it looks good.
Oh.
She can't fall for labels. She needs to read ingredients.
Okay.
If it has a sexy outlook, she buys it. And that's we're changing that desire. She doesn't need to do that because she's wasting her money.
Yeah.
She needs to read ingredient lists.
Okay.
That's even after she knows that the product can be trusted.
Mm-hmm.
She still needs to read because it can change.
Yeah, that's fair.
She's been burned before.
Aw, okay.
And she learned the lesson, but she forgot.
Mm.
Okay, so yeah, the legs. The legs are great.
Before you go too far, is there anything about her uterus or anywhere that needs attention? So I know we both have suffered from very difficult periods, and I don't know if that was addressed before.
Okay. She had endometriosis. She has scarring from having endometriosis. The period pain is from some of the scarring,
Okay.
but the endometriosis is gone.
Okay.
When she did the cleanse, it removed it all.
Okay.
But she had a hard time believing that it was gone.
Mm.
So she's getting the phantom pains.
Okay.
But there's a combination problem now.
What's that?
So she didn't fully believe that it was gone. She kept trying to say that it was gone.
Mm.
But her hormones aren't right.
Okay.
So because her hormones aren't right, she is getting excess pain.
Okay.
So she's got that book on the proper diet, and it's basically the one she's already on.
Okay.
So, I mean, her hormones, she's got all of these things working in her favor. She just needs to follow through.
Okay.
And that is her lesson.
Okay. Perfect. And what about the scarring? Is there anything you can do to remove that?
We can do that. Yes.
Okay.
We can do that right now.
Thank you.
We're just taking it out by hand because it's in random places. It's not like a line of scar.
Oh, I know it.
And it's in like blotches almost. I don't know how to describe it. It's like little pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to go in with tiny hands
Okay.
and remove it. She feels like she has to pee.
Can she hold it?
Yeah, I know she's good. It's because it's the sensation of where we're working right now is right beside her bladder.
Got it. That makes sense. Did the endometriosis travel anywhere?
It did. It was in her knees.
Okay.
It went all the way down to her knees. You were right. She needed to get some attention.
Okay.
But she was also right.
Mm-hmm.
The candida was part of it.
Wow.
The candida and the endometriosis were related.
That makes sense.
Okay, so we've gotten most of it. That one's in a weird spot. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay.
She okay?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Whew, she almost peed. She was trying not to pee.
Okay.
Okay, we got it. It's all gone.
And I totally forgot to check, but the tooth, is there any more that needs to happen for her tooth?
Believe.
That's it. Okay, perfect. All right, we are ready to move on. Thank you.
All right, so we were just at the last part because, yes, she's got the warts, but they will go away with belief.
Okay, now why are they hurting now?
To remind her to believe.
That's what I thought. Okay.
That's what she thought too. And she didn't listen. Okay, her legs are good. She needs to not sit so much though.
Okay.
I know it's hard because of her energy levels and nothing is really working so right for her. But if she literally completes all of the things that we tell her to do in baby steps, she needs to make the goals, firstly, for the things she wants in life, and secondly, for her health.
Okay.
So, like, tomorrow's baby step will be, I'm going to exercise for 1 minute. I'm going to crawl around for 1 minute. I'm going to do yoga for 10 minutes. I'm going to do a meditation for 5 minutes. If I can make it for 5 minutes. If not, do the things she taught you for 5 minutes.
Okay.
And that's actually a really good place to start. Because because she hasn't crawled yet. She doesn't have the ability to focus long enough to have a meditation.
Got it.
So this will help quickly rewire and create. Okay, so she knows. Have a little life goal one day and have a little health goal the same day. Okay. And then slowly add more goals.
Okay.
And they don't have to be big. She can learn about how to protect her IP tomorrow.
Okay.
And that won't take very long for her to learn because it's not complicated.
Okay.
In America, it's much easier. She just pays a lawyer $65. But in Canada, they don't have provisional law. It's different.
Okay.
So she can protect her intellectual property in a different way. But she's got to learn how.
Okay.
Make that her first goal, because that will make her fear less.
Perfect. That's a great idea.
So, we should sum up all the things.
Okay.
Because her body scan is complete.
Okay.
If she needs to relax, she can't sit. She can lay down.
Okay.
But sitting isn't the greatest for a body.
Okay.
Long periods of sitting. It's okay to sit, but try not to do it for long periods.
Okay. What should she do to break that up?
Get up and, I don't know, do the dishes, or get up and stretch. Do
Are those
a little bit of yoga.
Are those reminders on the watch to move? Are those helpful?
Yes, but she tends to just walk to the kitchen.
Oh.
I mean, they're great. They're great, but she doesn't stay up because usually her feet hurt because of the warts.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're right on the balls of her feet, so that really affects it. She's so close. She's so close on all accounts.
Okay, so is there anything we can do? I know it's a belief thing, but she believed when Grandma bought the warts. Is there anything we can do that can get rid of them today while she's in this state?
We severed the roots already.
Yes. Something visual for her, maybe.
Okay, we'll take the smallest one. Maybe that would be a quick... Like, she's got 2 little ones on each foot and 3 big ones altogether.
Okay.
So she's got 5.
Okay.
And it's funny because the 2 little ones were already gone.
Oh.
She was down to 3.
Oh my goodness.
They came back because she didn't believe. She stopped believing. In fact, she went back in the other direction. And it was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
So, it's just weird. She's got to be on a high vibe and she believes everything. But she's got to keep herself there. It's not easy to do. Being in a high vibe is easy to do if she's constantly fulfilling herself. But she's not. She knows what she needs to do for fulfillment and she doesn't do it.
Right.
She knows exactly what's going to make her happy, but she doesn't do it. And it's so easy. She could pull out a sketchbook and practice drawing. She could pull out a canvas and paint a picture. She could write. Even if it's not to accomplish anything, but just to get something from her heart out on paper.
Yeah.
She could research things that are important to her, like intellectual property protection in Canada. It's so easy. She's this close to being the success that she knows she can be.
Is
this
there
close.
Anything else that is blocking it that she can't put her finger on that we can take care of?
Let me dig.
Okay.
It's her. It's all her.
What does that mean?
She doesn't have enough faith in herself. And that's really all it is. She doesn't believe in herself. It's herself that does the healing. It's herself that does all the things that makes herself feel better. She doesn't believe in herself.
It's a very hard thing to do in this world. It's very challenging.
That's why we recommend the baby steps.
Okay.
Literal baby steps. Get on your feet and knees and crawl. Crawl.
Okay.
Start from the beginning. Give yourself the fundamental things you didn't get as a baby. And then maybe you'll start seeing things start falling into place, and then belief will come more easily in yourself. It's so right there. It's within reach, all of it.
Is there anything she can do that will remind her of that? Like, for example, I use a Magic I Witnessed Today journal. And then I can look back on it when I'm not feeling as good and remind myself that these things have happened.
Yes. She should do that.
Oh, okay.
Exactly that.
Okay.
She should do that, and she should toss the bullet journal she was doing it in before, because it's throwing her off.
Oh, why?
Entirely. Because she's not being artistic about the bullet journal. She's just trying to write in it.
Okay.
She's got hundreds of lined papers to write on and beautiful journals to write in. Okay. She needs to grab one and start writing in it, even though it's pretty.
Yeah, that's a tough one to break. Because here's the thing, the thoughts are also pretty.
Yeah, but okay, it's because she doesn't like her handwriting that she won't write in them, because they're too pretty for her handwriting.
Again.
Yep, not believing in herself. But it's funny because her handwriting is connected to her thyroid too.
It is?
It is.
How?
Because her thyroid doesn't have everything that it needs. It's taking from parts of her.
Oh my goodness.
I know, it sounds... It's exactly what it is.
Wow.
Her poor handwriting is her poor thyroid health.
Interesting.
Once her Epstein-Barr virus is gone and she goes to sleep consistently at a good time and gets her testosterone back up, and the exercise, the sleep, and the virus being gone will balance all the hormones.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's just the way the human body works. If it's given what it needs to heal, it will.
Okay, so let's look at a timeline for all of this. If she did everything exactly perfectly like you've requested, how long would this all take to be resolved for her?
Okay. Even with, like, the waiting to get the blood work done and the waiting for the lab to do it, if she was perfect about putting everything together and getting it done, she could see pretty good results in the time of 2 months.
That's great.
Like, amazing results. Like, she could probably lose enough weight to have more energy and have different clothes.
Oh, wow.
In 2 months.
That's amazing.
Because everything will start falling into line. Her handwriting will get nicer. Her chest will get smaller. Her back will get less sore. Her stomach will get stronger. Her muscles and bones will get stronger.
Amazing. So
her sleep will get deeper.
And will you show her willow trees to make sure she knows she's on that right track?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
She just needs to keep her eye out for willow trees. She needs to remember to... Because now she's already looking for rainbows because of the situation with your mom.
Yeah.
She's looking for cardinals because of the situation with your dad. But she needs to look for willows.
For herself.
Perfect. She can't leave herself out of the equation anymore.
Right. Exactly. She deserves the best.
And it's funny because we even gave her a husband with the same favorite tree.
Aww.
That's his favorite tree of all time.
Aww.
And that's her favorite tree of all time. They both had the same scenario as children where the willow tree was chopped down and they both wept about it.
Aww.
Yeah, they didn't see it happen, but they came home and it was gone and it was devastating.
That's sad.
Yes.
Trees are special.
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, we've done a bit of a recap. Is there anything we've left out?
I wonder. I didn't really summarize everything to the fullest extent.
Okay, well, you're more than welcome to.
Okay, so we'll start at the beginning.
Okay.
Crawl. Work your way up to 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes a day, every day. Until you feel the synapses are built and created and parts of you are healing that you would never even would have expected to heal. You'll know. It'll happen. Meditate. Do this too.
Say what you're doing because it'll be an audio
She can't
recording.
see that. That's
No.
right. Okay, you're rubbing your fingertips together. You're feeling your fingerprints. You're doing the thing you learned on social media yesterday. Do that as well as crawling. Not at the same time, obviously. You can't. But if you do both consistently, you will be good at meditating the way you want to be, because there's no such thing as being good at it. But the way that you want to meditate is where you'll be in less than 2 months. If you she can crawl for 10 minutes a day right from the start. She'll be fine in a month.
Wow.
In a month. But she has to do it every day. We know her.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to keep this promise to herself if she wants to heal.
Okay.
Okay, so crawl for 10 minutes a day immediately, because that doesn't take up much energy. In fact, she's going to feel energized.
Okay.
Do the meditation with the fingertips until she feels as though she can focus for 5 minutes without problems.
Okay.
Then she can actually sit to meditate.
Okay.
Yoga. We highly recommend yoga because that will stretch out everything. And that'll just feel good and release tension so that upper back and neck tension isn't a problem. But also, she's feeling her tendons. Her tendons are problematic because she doesn't move her body nearly enough. So she's got to stretch. I mean, there's only so much.
With it?
What's that?
That will resolve with the stretching?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's even, in the past, she was developing early tendonitis signs, and she just looked up YouTube stretches, and it was fine within a day and a half.
Beautiful.
So, like, she knows what to do. She just doesn't do it. Follow through is her biggest problem. So that's why she's so surprised about following through with something. When she did the KonMari.
Yeah.
That was the follow through that she just anyway, so
we've covered why that feeling is there though, right?
Yeah.
The follow through, it's the belief in herself.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is something that will develop with the crawling.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes, and it all ties into the life we showed her today.
Okay.
Okay, so the crawling, the meditation, the yoga, the slowly working your way up to 20.5 minutes a day of cardiovascular exercise, aerobic exercise. Get your heart rate up as high as you can. We don't expect big numbers with the issues that are currently going on in her body. But as she heals those problems, her heart rate will go higher.
Okay.
Don't let that freak her out.
Okay.
Her heart rate can safely, at her age, go up to 210.
Oh my goodness.
Safely with exercise.
Wow.
Only problem is, if it were to do that now, she would feel like she was dying.
Yeah.
Because her body is just not used to it.
Okay.
When her heart rate gets up to 110, she feels like she's gonna die.
Wow.
So this is what I mean. She needs to go slow.
Okay.
And work her way up to it. The good food, we don't have a problem with the good food. Just keep an eye on the ingredients.
Okay.
And also the cholesterol, because she's trying to kill two birds with one stone with his health. So keep an eye on the saturated fat as well.
Okay.
I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing until he quits sugar.
Okay.
Sorry, I said that backwards.
Yeah.
It is a bad thing until he quits sugar.
Got it. Yes.
Okay. Crawl. Yoga. Exercise. Go to bed at 9. Put your head on the pillow at 9. Meditate. And definitely up your water intake. The big drink that she has needs to be 3 times. She needs to fill it 3 times and empty it 3 times.
Okay.
It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck because she's gonna pee forever until her body gets used to it.
Okay.
And then it's gonna crave it.
Okay.
And then she'll be fine. And everything that she wants to happen will happen. Just the little goals when it comes to like the success in her life.
Okay.
She needs to map them out. She can write it out. She can think of it all tomorrow, write it down and map it out and meet those goals.
Okay.
That will really raise her belief in herself.
Okay.
And they don't have to be big goals. But if she writes down 3 or 4 a day and bangs them all off, that will energize her enough to do more.
Perfect.
And it'll raise her belief in herself. I think we've covered it all.
Okay.
And if we've missed anything, she can just rehear it when she listens again.
Okay. All right. Well, that was awesome. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
No problem. Is there any other advice or message you would like to give Amy before we go?
She's doing great at being silly.
Yeah.
She's doing a really good job of being silly. Kaylin will never hate her. She needs to just do it. He'll never hate her.
Okay.
She's good.
All right.
Mom says hi.
Hi, Mom. Does she have any messages for Amy?
She's proud of her, and she knows she's on the right track.
Nice. Good stuff.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right. Anything else?
I think that's enough.
Okay. Thank you so much. This was incredible. Thank you for talking with us and all the amazing things you've done for Amy. She's going to be so grateful.
She's got to follow through. She can do this. She can definitely do this.
Yeah.
She's got to understand how close she is. It's literally just a tiny little step.
Wow. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.